They say the human brain is the most complex organ in the known universe. They say it can contemplate the infinite, build civilizations, and compose symphonies. I say they're full of it because my brain has been reduced to a gelatinous, flickering mess, a digital compost heap where the only thriving organisms are the parasitic larvae of internet trends. And if you're here watching this, then congratulations, you're either already there with me or you're one click away from joining the Brain Rot Brigade. Welcome to the show. Today we're peeling back the putrid layers of a truly magnificent digital collapse, the epic, self-immolating downfall of Logan Paul and his Technicolor sugar water Prime. Remember when the internet was just like cute cat videos and bad flash games? Simpler times, wasn't it? Now it's a hellish kaleidoscope of short-form content, predatory marketing, and manufactured outrage all swirling around the ever-expanding void of our collective consciousness. And at the epicenter of this digital Chernobyl, spewing forth a radioactive mist of hype and lawsuits, stands Prime. Prime, the drink that promised hydration but delivered only disappointment, a lukewarm beverage-shaped monument to the fleeting attention spans of Gen Z and the eternal grift of the internet celebrity. This isn't just a drink, folks. It's a liquid metaphor for everything wrong with our online existence, a sugary, brightly colored symptom of a terminal societal illness. Now, before Prime, Logan Paul was already a walking, talking digital car crash, the Aokigahara forest incident, the CryptoZoo scam, a veritable highlight reel of ethical dumpster fires. But Prime was his magnum opus, the Mona Lisa of monetization. He took a basic concept, colored water with electrolytes, and injected it with enough influencer-fueled hype to make a rocket ship blush. And for a glorious, terrifying moment, it worked. People were trampling each other in supermarkets, scalpers were selling bottles for 50 quid. It was like a new religion, a cult of personality manifested in a plastic bottle. The masses, desperate for anything to fill the yawning chasm of their online lives, latched onto it like a digital pacifier. It was glorious, it was deranged, it was inevitable. The sheer, unadulterated, primal urge to consume. Look at it. It's like watching a documentary about piranhas, but instead of flesh, they're devouring aspartame-laced hydration. It was a societal fever dream, a collective hallucination brought on by too much screen time and an insufficient amount of critical thinking. My own ancestors probably fought mammoths with sharpened sticks, and here we are, battling soccer moms for a sip of blue raspberry-flavored disappointment. Evolution is a myth, people, a cruel, cruel myth, but as with all things built on a foundation of pure, unadulterated hype, the Prime Empire began to wobble. The cracks started to show, then fissures, then gaping chasms that swallowed entire supermarkets' worth of unsold stock. First there were the lawsuits, oh, the beautiful, glorious lawsuits, claims of deceptive marketing of caffeine levels that would make a cheetah blush, of PFAS, those delightful forever chemicals that will outlive cockroaches and our grandchildren's grandchildren. Imagine you're sipping on your grape-flavored Prime, thinking you're hydrated, and turns out you're slowly becoming a human Tupperware container. It's a level of irony that even I, a connoisseur of digital despair, have to admire. You see that? That's not a drink. That's a legal minefield. Every sip is a potential subpoena. My therapist told me to hydrate more, but she clearly didn't factor in the existential dread of ingesting industrial waste byproducts. I'm starting to think my daily coffee addiction is actually a healthier choice, which is saying something, considering my coffee machine runs on pure, unadulterated spite. And then there was the market saturation. Prime went from a mythical, unattainable elixir to the bargain bin resident faster than you can say overpriced sugar water. Suddenly, every gas station, every dusty corner store was awash in the garish colors of Prime. It was everywhere, it was inescapable, it was the digital plague manifest in liquid form. The scarcity marketing that had fueled the initial frenzy backfired spectacularly. When something is rare, you want it. When it's clogging up every aisle like a discarded influencer's ego, you actively avoid it. It became the embarrassing X of the beverage world, constantly lurking in the periphery, reminding you of a bad decision you once made. Look at it, it's like a graveyard of broken dreams, a monument to the fleeting nature of online fame. Each discarded bottle, a silent scream of "I told you so." It's almost poetic in a deeply unsettling, slightly vomitous way. I once saw a homeless man trying to sell a bottle of Prime for $1, and he still couldn't find a buyer. That, my friends, is rock bottom. Not for him, but for humanity. The entire Prime saga is a masterclass in how to build a house of cards on the shifting sands of internet trends. It relied on manufactured urgency, on the cult of personality, and on the terrifyingly efficient echo chamber of social media. Logan Paul, bless his perpetually confused soul, thought he could just slap his name on anything and it would turn to gold. And for a while it did. But the internet, in its infinite, merciless wisdom, eventually turns on its own. It's a digital Ouroboros, constantly consuming and regurgitating its own content, and the influencers are merely the gristle in the gears. The fan base, oh, the fan base. A collective of perpetually online adolescents, hopped up on caffeine and the delusion of proximity to internet fame. They defended Prime with the fervor of religious fanatics, scoffing at scientific reports and logical arguments. "But it tastes good!" they'd shriek, their eyes glazed over from hours of TikTok scrolling, their bodies twitching with an energy drink-induced tremor. It wasn't about the taste, was it? It was about belonging, about being part of the latest thing, about projecting an image of being in the know to their equally deluded peers. It was a digital tribal ritual, and Prime was their sacred sacrament. And when the spell broke, when the lawsuits mounted and the shelves sagged under the weight of unwanted inventory, they just moved on, like digital locusts, leaving a barren landscape of empty promises and sugar crashes. There's a certain grim satisfaction in watching the ephemeral nature of online loyalty. It's like watching a particularly sad episode of Animal Planet where the baby gazelle gets eaten by the hyenas. You know it's coming, but it still stings a little. The sheer, unyielding enthusiasm for what is essentially flavored water. It's terrifying, it's beautiful. It's the reason I stopped sleeping. I just lie awake at night staring at the ceiling, wondering if humanity truly peaked with the invention of the wheel. And it's been a steady downhill sprint ever since. And the answer, my friends, is a resounding, soul-crushing yes. The irony, of course, is that Logan Paul, the man who built an empire on pushing boundaries and exploiting trends, ultimately fell victim to the very beast he helped create. The internet's attention span is shorter than a politician's promise, and its memory, while selective, is utterly unforgiving. One moment you're the king of the hydration mountain, the next you're a footnote in a class action lawsuit. It's the circle of digital life, a brutal, unforgiving cycle of rise, fall, and then endless, embarrassing reruns on brain rot compilation channels like this one. I mean, look at me. I'm practically a digital archaeologist, sifting through the digital debris of fallen empires for your morbid entertainment. My job security depends on the constant cycle of public humiliation and corporate malfeasance. So, thank you, Logan. Truly. And what did we learn from the epic saga of Prime? Absolutely nothing. That's the most beautiful part. We'll just move on to the next brightly colored, overhyped product peddled by the next grinning, perpetually online personality. We'll queue up, we'll spend our hard-earned cash, we'll get duped, and then we'll find ourselves right back here staring into the abyss of another viral failure. Because that's the human condition in the digital age, isn't it? A constant, insatiable hunger for novelty, a desperate need to be part of something, even if that something is a cynical cash grab, masquerading as a revolutionary beverage. So as the sun sets on another day of digital madness and the fluorescent glow of my monitor burns itself into my retina, I leave you with this thought. Are we consuming the content, or is the content consuming us? Are we hydrating ourselves, or are we slowly dissolving into a sticky, artificial, sweetener-laden puddle of regret? The answer, my friends, is irrelevant, because either way, we're all going to need a lot more therapy and probably a very strong, non-Prime related beverage. Stay hydrated, stay cynical, and for the love of all that is unholy, never trust a product endorsed by someone who has to apologize for their past indiscretions every other Tuesday. My brain is officially fried. Good night, and may your algorithms be ever in your favor, you poor deluded souls.